Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase, and I'm here with a very important message. We are at a turning point in the Black community where we must have equity in the apps we use that scale to billions of dollars. But this time, we own the infrastructure, we own the culture, and we shape the future. And Fanbase is the future. Fanbase combines the free functionality of Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube into an all-in-one platform built for the evolution of social media and monetization. With over 1.4 million users, that's real proof that we are shifting the conversation of tech ownership and equity for creators. So right now, I want you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. This marks a turning point in Black ownership of social media. If we don't take this opportunity to own social media right now, we will always be customers to our own creations. And that can't go on. So once again, go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. We must own the platforms where our voices live, our stories matter, and where our culture drives the world. Thank you.
folks, Black Star Network is here.
Hold no punches.
I'm real revolutionary right now. Black power.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig? Today's Thursday, October 2nd, 2025, coming up on Roland Martin Unfiltered, streaming live on the Black Star Network. Man in Virginia, talking about a freaky deaky lieutenant governor on the Republican side. Democrats are calling for the Republican lieutenant governor nominee, John Reed, to resign, pull out of the race after he was tied to a Tumblr blog that reposted Nazi-themed pornography and violent sexual content. Damn, bruh. Trump spiritual advisor Robert Morris, you know that pastor in Texas who Trump was kicking it with? Yeah, he pled guilty today. He's going to prison for 6 months because he had sex with a 12-year-old girl. What is up with the party of family values? Day 2 of the Republican-led government shutdown. Federal workers could start receiving termination letters as soon as tomorrow. Damn, can we fire Trump? An organization is suing MAGA folks over the threat of mass federal layoffs. Federal troops have now been deployed to Democrat-led cities, including Memphis. You've got ICE folks in Chicago. We'll hear from 2 reporters at a black-owned news outlet in Chicago covering the militarization on the ground. Since the announcement of Bad Bunny headlining the 2026 Super Bowl, there are reports that ICE will have a huge presence at the game. Like, whatever. Plus, there's a new program being piloted in cities with proven strategies that have already cut shootings by up to 70%. We'll talk to leaders behind the initiative. Man, there's lots we got to talk about. So, it's time to bring the funk. I'm Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. Let's go.
He's got it. Whatever the biz, he's on it. Whatever it is, he's got the scoop, the fact, the find. And when it breaks, he's right on time and it's rolling. Best believe he's knowing. Putting it down from sports to news to politics. With entertainment just for kicks, he's rolling. It's on go, roll, y'all. It's Roland Martin.
Democrat leader Hakeem Jeffries stood on the Capitol steps today, reiterating how Dems remain in D.C. to save health care for Americans.
This is day 2 of Donald Trump's shutdown, but it's day 256 of the chaos that the Trump presidency has unleashed on the American people. Republicans have shut the government down because they don't want to provide health care to working class Americans. House Democrats continue to be here on duty. House Republicans are on vacation. We are ready, we are willing, we are able to sit down with anyone, anytime, any place, including the president and the vice president, to try to find a path forward, to reopen the government, enact a spending agreement that actually meets the needs of the American people, while at the same time addressing the Republican health care crisis. Unfortunately, Republicans have shown zero interest in even having a conversation. After the White House meeting, on Monday, we've seen behavior by the president that is unserious and unhinged. And Leader Schumer and myself haven't gotten a single phone call as it relates to a follow-up conversation. We're ready to have that conversation, but we need credible partners on the other side of the aisle. And Donald Trump and Republicans have made clear they wanted to shut down the government. They want to inflict pain on the American people. They continue to engage in their retribution efforts, and they have zero interest, zero, in providing high-quality, affordable, and accessible care to everyday Americans.
Well, Trump, of course, said the shutdown will result in mass federal layoffs. He's really been waiting for this. In response, the American Federation of Government Employees and the American Federation of State Talent and Municipal Employees, AFSCME, They filed a lawsuit challenging the Trump administration's threats. The suit claims that the Office of Management and Budget violated the law by threatening mass terminations. Katie Fang is senior advisor with the Democracy Defenders Fund. She also is with the Persist Network. Okay, Nola, calm down. No, y'all know Gumbo Queen. Y'all know Gumbo Queen. Nola Haynes is also on the Persist Network. So, she sends me one more damn text message like, "Oh my God, it's so great that Katie's gonna be on the show tonight. Oh my God, oh my God." Okay, all right. So let's get right to it. First and foremost, Katie, these nitwits literally tried to order federal employees to change their signature line to say, "Oh, we're not at work because the Democrats are the cause for this."
Well, that was whack. And what's going on is that's a whole other Hatch Act violation moment. That's also a violation of other federal statutes to basically just have partisan hackery and forcing all of these federal agencies to. These are the out of office emails, Roland. These are the replies that you get if you email a government employee right now during the shutdown, and they're blaming the Democrats, which just goes to show how desperate the Republicans are. But the Hatch Act violations totally different than what we're seeing now. We just saw Donald Trump post today on Truth Social that this is the Project 2025 blueprint being met. This idea that if you have an agency, a program, a federal program that is no longer funded, and that is because of Congress not being able to continue appropriations and funding. Now Donald Trump is saying, with the help of Russell Vogt, one of his lackeys, that, you know what? If it doesn't meet with one of my priorities, I can kick it. I can get rid of it. And so it's not only just federal employees that are either working without getting paid or have been furloughed without money until we get the shutdown over. Now, while they're out, they're not going to get their jobs back. And that is the reason why we at Democracy Defenders Fund, along with some incredible other coalition partners like Democracy Forward, and another incredible law firm out in California, we filed this lawsuit on September 30th because we saw the writing on the wall. They're not subtle, right? They tell you exactly what they're going to do. There's a memorandum I want to cite to, Roland, that was issued that said if it is an unfunded federal program, we consider it to no longer be statutorily required to be carried out. There's no authority for that. And then on September 28th, they issued new guidance for the shutdown saying that, guess what? We're going to pay people to fire people during the shutdown. That's how gross they are about this.
Listen, I mean, you're dealing with people, to your point about Russell Vought. Donald Trump claimed in the election that, oh my God, I know nothing about Project 2025. Then, of course, he posted today about how Russell Vought is from Project 2025 fame. We all knew he was lying. And people like Nora O'Donnell should be apologizing to Vice President Kamala Harris, who challenged her on those points. And we all knew he was lying the moment he said he knew nothing about Project 2025. We knew he was lying.
Yeah, and that is a huge issue when it comes to, if I may take the privilege of this to say, mainstream media has failed Americans time and time again, because if you don't push back and demand accountability for answers that are provided from the Oval Office, from the federal government, then you're just complicit in the lies. And if you are in mainstream media, because remember, they're really the only people that are continuing to get access to this administration. They're not giving people like me and you access, right, to be able to challenge them, cross-examine them, get to the answers. There should be coordination then in mainstream media and legacy media to make sure that if a question is posed to Trump, that convicted felon has to answer the damn question. And it should be follow-up upon follow-up. Say, my colleague Roland Martin just asked you this question, President Trump, and you didn't answer it.
Yep.
But because you don't have the accountability, you just let the lies filter to the American people. And right now, when you have federal agencies who landing pages on the internet blame Democrats, alleging that we're trying to give free health care to, quote, illegal immigrants, and you're not checking that at the door, then you are complicit in the lies.
And what we're dealing with people, they don't care about federal workers. They're threatening these firings. They're claiming that, oh, we're just going to sweep folks out. And Eric Erickson is like, oh, great. We can sweep out these Democrat bureaucrats and we can bring in vetted MAGA people.
Yeah, and we saw how well that worked at the beginning of 2025, did we not? Remember, Doge was supposed to root out, quote, fraud, waste, and abuse. And that ended up in the crapper. So when it comes to this specifically, this lawsuit is going to force them not only to have to disclose communications, correspondence, planning, and plotting, but it also says, look, you have to follow the law. Because remember, one of the last places we're able to hold people and hold truth to account and power to account is in court. We're getting some successful rulings in court. And when we filed this lawsuit, the idea was to make sure that we said you don't have the federal statute, you don't have the federal authority, you don't have anything that allows you to wholesale do a reduction in force, a RIF, during a government shutdown. Remember, this is an emergency shutdown that was based on a lapsing of appropriations and funding. This is congressional action or inaction based upon how you look at it. This is not a planned organizational change, which is what a reduction in force happens within, right? The framework of a RIF is usually it's a planned organizational change. In this instance, the money has run out, but Trump and Vogt and all these other people in the Trump administration are trying to use the shutdown as cover to do illegal firings of federal employees. And these are people, Roland, that are keeping the wheels going, right? They're keeping the wheels on the train. They're making sure that things get done. And these are the people that we need to protect the most at this time.
And let's be clear. What these people are doing, and the Supreme Court is letting them, they're just deciding, New York City, New York State, we're not going to send you $18 billion in transit funding because we believe that your DEI plans are unconstitutional. Hey, Atlanta, you're not going to get $37 million because you got DEI programs. Oh, all you blue states, you can forget the $8 billion because you get the Green New Deal scam when the Green New Deal was never passed because it deals with infrastructure and climate change. They're operating as if they can do whatever they want, and this is where the courts have to have the guts to say, no, you can't. You're not a king.
And we've been seeing the lower courts, from the trial courts, district courts to the appellate courts. They're the ones that have been carrying the burden of making sure that the rule of law is still respected. It is SCOTUS and the uber conservative majority on SCOTUS that is creating the challenges that we are seeing right now when it comes to, for example, foreign aid that was already appropriated and earmarked by Congress. SCOTUS is allowing the president of the United States to now say, I'm going to freeze that funding in the meanwhile. And what happens? All of that soft power that the United States can exercise globally, it ends up dissipating, and we end up being more of a laughingstock on the global stage. But what's important to remember here is if we don't continue to believe in the rule of law, then we have no laws. The body politic is dysfunctional right now. That's part of the reason why Senate Democrats have said, you know what, we're going to hold the line and we're not going to continue to feed the beast. We have to remember, while this is going on, though, if these, quote, programs are not meeting with the priorities of the administration, what the heck is that? It's intentionally vague. It's illegally vague, but you just reeled it off, didn't you? If it touches DEI, if it's deemed to be, quote, woke, then clearly they're going to say it doesn't meet with the priorities of the administration. And so they're going to kick those programs. And these are going to be so many people that are impacted. But here's the funny thing, right? Rural America, when it comes to Trump's big bullshit bill, rural America in Republican jurisdictions and Republican states, they're going to feel it just as hard, if not harder, than some of these blue states. Because a lot of these blue states have been taking care of their residents, right? And so it's not just the government shutdown, it's a double whammy at the hands of the Republicans. It's the big bullshit bill and now the government shutdown.
Well, to me, it's just beyond laughable to watch this reaction, and then they act like they can't do anything. But I thought you control all levels of the government.
That's right. I call it a political power trifecta. They control the White House, the Senate, and the House. So Why would Senate Democrats fund their own irrelevancy if, one, Congress is not going to get the respect that it deserves as a co-equal branch of government, and two, if the Republicans have such a spectacular agenda that is so amazing, then of course you would see people signing on. You would see popularity of our president be out of, skyrocketing right now. But it's not. He has some of the lowest approval ratings that exist. And we know that Republicans right now are going to have to face their constituents who are going to be demanding answers as to, one, y'all are getting paid right now. Members of Congress are getting paid right now. That's why people like Senator Andy Kim saying, I'll take $1 and take my salary and I'll give it back to the government so people can have money right now. We need to also dig in deep, and we need to make sure that we are there for our community members, for people that are impacted by this shutdown. We saw in the last shutdown, I just spoke to former Senator Doug Jones from the state of Alabama, Roland. He said in the last shutdown, he saw federal employees standing in lines at food banks. We need to make sure that we steel ourselves and we stand in solidarity and we help take care of people that are impacted by this shutdown.
So I discussed this yesterday, and I think it still has to be the case. So with this lawsuit, how are y'all going to make regular, ordinary people the face of this? Because I think the issue that I have is this, and Bishop William Barber and I talk all the time. He's always saying you gotta have impacted people. You can't have Democratic politicians, you can't have lawyers, you can't have strategists. You need to have people, families. People need to see real people who are impacted by this, not politicos. What is your plan to do that moving forward after filing this lawsuit?
Well, let's speak bluntly, right? There's the court of law. There's the court of public opinion. We can ring true in a court of law, but if you don't feel the reason behind what we're doing in that court of law, and if you don't understand what we're up to in the court of public opinion, then I have failed in what I am tasked to do, Roland. The plaintiffs in this case, as you reeled off at the beginning of this segment, they are AFL-CIO, American Federation of Government Employees. These are people that are federal employees. They are healthcare workers. They are sanitation workers. They are childcare providers. They are people that are making this country run. And they are the people that are under the gun right now of potentially being fired by this horrific, draconian, disgusting Trump administration. And so they are the face of this lawsuit. I may be here to explain the legalities. I may be here to advocate for why these are important lawsuits to bring, but ultimately, they are the reason behind why we do this work.
Absolutely. I'm going to go to my panel for a series of questions. Joining us right now, Reese Colbert, host of the Reese Colbert Show out of Washington, D.C., Sirius XM Radio's. Reese, what's your question?
Oh, I didn't know we was doing questions. Hi, Katie.
Yeah, you doing questions because I said we doing questions.
I thought I was here to commentate, but that's okay. I got a question for Katie. Okay, Katie. So, you know, I'm wondering, how has, and this isn't about the lawsuit, but you and Nola are obviously both on the Persist Network. What's your read on how the Democrats on the Hill have been activating all facets of alternative media, including the mainstream media and social media? Because I've seen their social media presence, but I still feel like they haven't left, they're not in a no stone left unturned kind of mode. And they're starting to get outgunned in this, messaging war with their Hatch Acts violations. So I'm just curious about your level of engagement or your read on that.
Yeah, look, I can't speak in generalizations, right? I'm going to be very blunt. I think that there has been an incredible lionization of members of Congress that's not fair, meaning I don't really think that they should have celebrity status the way that some of them have. There's a handful of them that have realized that independent media is really the frontier to be. Why? Because we have a huge reach and impact. Some of them have figured out that digital and social media, that those are the places they need to be waging a war when it comes to public opinion. Some of them haven't. And part of that is also because they're still married to the idea that traditional legacy mainstream media is the only way to reach certain people. But that's the point. It only reaches certain people. It doesn't reach the people and all people. And so I got to be honest, I would give them a grade of about a C- right now. But some of them have been very good about reaching out and having conversations and doing interviews and doing, duets on Insta and TikTok. But otherwise, they're a little deficient, I think, at this point.
Shit. Okay.
I'm being honest.
No. But
I agree.
here's my point. This is how basic this is. Okay. So, shutdown Wednesday, 12:01 a.m.
You knew it was coming.
This is just Roland. Roland would have had a sheet that said, these are the 5 people who are available from 5 to 6 a.m., 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10,
Nope.
10 to 11. I would have said, media folk, this is who we've got available from 5 a.m. all the way to midnight. And then the next day, same thing. Oh, how about this here? And you know what? That's fine. Wednesday, we had Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries on the show. Not a problem? Good. Today's Thursday. Who did the Democrats offer up to come on our show tonight?
I'm looking.
Nobody.
That's the point, right?
Okay.
You knew this was happening, right?
That's kind of dumb. That's kind of dumb. To me, what's your strategy every single day? How are you driving home your point every single day? Oh, by the way, we sent an email. Let me just double check to see before I go to Zachary. Let me just double check and see if there's a response that came in. No, I personally sent an email on yesterday asking for Senator Chuck Schumer to come on this show. When was the last time Senator Chuck Schumer came on Roland Martin Unfiltered? October 29th, 2020.
Shut up, really?
October 29th, 2020. Now, we've asked every year since 2020. Now, last I checked, I don't know of any other daily news show that targets African Americans other than this one. I don't know. I would think that you might, okay, sure they have the little off the record pen and pad. Nah, come on the show. But see, again, this is what's stupid to me. So I just don't understand what the hell they're doing. And it ain't like I haven't texted them, but they should be, for independent shows, flooding the zone, offering up countless people to have as guests, Katie. It's kind of basic to me.
You don't have to have a background and comms to be able to know that that's what it is. It's called flood the zone. It's the only way to combat the ecosystem that's been built effectively over years. We are behind the 8 ball when it comes to communications, messaging, when it comes to the Democrats. I'll give you a really quick anecdotal example. There's a guy that went to trial in federal court here in Florida for allegedly attempting to assassinate Donald Trump on the golf course at Mar-a-Lago, right over there. And did you know that Fox News sent 16 people to cover that trial every single day? Why? Because it fits the narrative of what they're trying to promote and peddle, right? Did you know that there was very little coverage from other stations, networks, etc.? Look, I don't want to amplify anything that deals with the convicted felon, but here's the thing. When it comes to something like this that directly impacts all Americans, regardless of political affiliation, then you have to get ahead of what you know is going to be coming down the pipeline. It was no secret they were going to be accusing Democrats falsely of giving free health care to illegal immigrants. They are using immigration as the boogeyman to be able to justify federalizing cities, going in, bringing in the National Guard, bringing in the military, continuing a campaign of intimidation and fear. This lawsuit combats that same concept. Let me cow you into submission. Let me make you scared into thinking that if you don't follow the party line, you're going to get your ass fired. That is completely consistent and on brand with who they are. Here's the thing that's absurd about it. They are so unoriginal. There is nothing original about what they do and how they roll it out. The only impressive thing, Roland, is, and I will admit it, they've done it a lot faster, a lot more efficiently, and a lot more powerfully in a shorter window of time than I anticipated from them. Otherwise, we all knew that this was going to happen.
Zachary?
Agree 129%. Katie, it's great to have the chance to dialogue with you, and great to see my friends, Dr. Nola and Reese, who I know is having a birthday soon, the prettiest Libra in the world, the gifts of Venus. Always beauty to her children. My question is really, when we look at the shutdown, we look at what's happening, what do you think will be the harshest, most immediate effects on American families?
WIC. The nutritional supplements that are provided to women, infants, nursing formula, that's gone in less than a week. That's nearly 7 million people that are impacted when WIC is gone. That, I think, is going to be the harshest thing that we're going to feel in America in the most immediate of senses. Why? Because remember I talked about that double whammy? A lot of that big bullshit bill impact is not going to be felt in a huge way. American farmers are seeing it a little bit. That's a little bit more tariff related. But a lot of that big bullshit bill stuff is not going to be really felt until 2026. This shutdown is going to take a little bit of time. People are going to feel more of an inconvenience at the beginning. But things like WIC being gone, forget it, man. That's a lot of money and it's gone.
All right. I guess I'll let Nola ask a question. I guess.
Nola.
I guess I'll let her ask a question.
Lord, Katie, the stuff I got to go through with this man.
I'm just glad your Wi-Fi worked this week.
I'm gonna be so.
And I'm just glad you're not on mute this week. So the little blessings. The little blessings.
And I'm not about to get real colored right now, Roland.
The
so
little blessings. Praise the Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you very much. Yes,
I'm gonna
Lord.
go ahead and ask our guest, Katie. Thank you so much for being here tonight. The one thing that when I was reading through the case, I'm sitting there and I'm reading it and I'm getting it and I'm feeling it. And, as an ex-government employee, I'm appreciative in many ways that this is happening. But then I think about the Supreme Court. And when I think about the Supreme Court, the kind of air beneath my wings kind of deflate very quickly. So how is the legal community thinking about this current Supreme Court and how many times they actually give Trump what they want? And could this be one of those times? And if so, what happens next?
Yes, I'm not going to BS you, right? You have to prepare for the worst. And part of what's frustrating is the Supreme Court in an unprecedented manner has been taking these, quote, emergency applications on the shadow docket and doing so at rates that have never been seen before. And when they issue their rulings on the shadow docket, several of which have been bad, adverse, impacts on Americans, they do it without any explanation. And so it kind of leaves the lower courts to have to guess how they're supposed to be able to move forward, because a lot of these rulings that come on the shadow docket, they're not substantive rulings on the merits of the case. They're more the temporary stays, the injunctions, et cetera. So when we file these lawsuits, we have to anticipate the worst from SCOTUS. But I always want to remind myself a saying that was one of my late father's favorites and one that I like to use, which is, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. If we don't continue to persevere, if we're not relentless in pursuing justice and defending and pursuing the rule of law, then we've failed everyone. And we cannot allow ourselves to not take these lawsuits, challenge this administration, and go to court and fight for people, especially Americans and our federal employees, simply because we think that we could get an adverse ruling from the Supreme Court of the United States down the road. I will bet my bottom dollar if we get something good from this case, it'll go on an emergency application to the Supreme Court of the United States, right? But I can't worry about that right now. I can plan, I can strategize, I can game it out, I can figure out that that's a possibility, but I got to look at it as in we are only pursuing what we can, and that's right and just, because look, we have to be on the right side of history on this. When people later on look and see, what did you do during this time? I can't say that we just stood on the sidelines and did nothing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right, Katie Fang, I appreciate you joining us. Tell folks where they can check out your show.
Oh, that's so kind of you. So I am on YouTube at Katie Fang News. I also do this great segment called Wait a Damn Minute on the Persist Network, where Dr. Nola Haynes also has her program
Yeah, you ain't got to
Nightcap.
mention her. You ain't got to mention her.
Oh, I will always pitch her. Are you kidding me? Look at Nola. And I'm on at Katie Fang. That's PHANG on all social media. But I appreciate the privilege of y'all's time and to all of the people that are tuning in. It really is an honor to be able to spend some time with you guys tonight.
All right, glad to have you here. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Bye, y'all.
Folks, gonna sit here, go to a break. We come back, more on Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network, including one of Trump's spiritual advisors. His punk ass is going to prison because, yeah, he sexually assaulted a 12-year-old girl. And he claimed he loved Jesus. Really? Back in a moment.
In my book, The Power to Persist, I share 8 simple yet powerful habits, a blueprint for transforming obstacles into opportunities and pressure into purpose. Just as they fueled my rise from the south side of Chicago to a national stage. And on the Power to Persist podcast, I bring that blueprint to life.
Next on the Black Table with me, Greg Carr. An hour of living history with Dr. Richard Mariba Kelsey, thinker, builder, author, and one of the most important and impactful elders in the African American community. He reflects on his full and rich life and shares his incomparable wisdom about our past, present, and future.
African genius is saying that my uncle was a genius, my brother was a genius, my neighbor was a genius. I think we ought to drill that in ourselves and move ahead rather than believing that I got it.
That's next on the Black Table, here on the Black Star Network.
What's up? It's the MCEO Talib Kweli. You are checking out Roland Martin Unfiltered.
All right, now it's time for the freaky ass portion of the show. A pornographic blog linked to Virginia Lieutenant Governor candidate, Republican Lieutenant Governor candidate John Reed, shared content from accounts that delved into Nazism and sexual violence. Reed has denied owning the blog, which appeared on Tumblr under the name J.R. Doe, D-E-U-X. The same handle he happens to use on Instagram and TikTok. Reed called the blog part of a coordinated smear campaign against him for being a gay Republican. But its posts date back to 2014, before he entered politics. In one 2015 post, J.R. Doe shared an image of a male college student in underwear from the user Obedient Niggard, whose bio described themselves as a subservient nigger who knows his place in society, and solicited contact from, quote, superior white men in Washington, D.C. That account has also posted images of men with white supremacist tattoos, including a close-up of a chest inked with a swastika and caption, "Fucking nice WP Inc. M88. WP stands for white power. M88 is neo-Nazi code for Heil Hitler." Well, Democrats are obviously hitting him, saying that he should step aside in the race. They also are demanding that Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin address this issue as well. And so we'll see if they, of course, they're going to abide by what Virginia Democrats are demanding. But yeah, so this was done by the American Journal. They did an investigation linking him to this account. But see, this ain't just it. Let's go to Wisconsin. Did y'all hear what happened in Wisconsin? So in Wisconsin, the candidate running for governor drops out. You may say, okay, well, you know, people drop out for different reasons. Well, things got a little funky in Wisconsin because
the family values candidate, Bill Berrien, who's a manufacturing executive, former Navy SEAL, dropped out after the blogging website Medium said that he followed a transgender adult film star named Jiz Lee and authors of sexually explicit essays, including polyamory, is that what it's called? Polyamory, whatever it's called? Okay, all right. Now, homie done deleted his Medium account ever since. He went ahead and dropped out. Quote, looking towards what is in the best interest of the party, voters, donors, and my family, I've decided to end my campaign. Okay. Berrien told the Associated Press that the media focused on, quote, stupid articles I read years ago and had painted a salacious and sensational picture that was clearly targeted to force me out of this governor's race. It was a major attack piece. He goes, and for what? Reading? Nothing illegal, nothing unethical, and nothing immoral, Reese, just reading. Wouldn't you want your political and business leaders and all of society, frankly, to be widely read and thoughtful and aware of different perspectives and ideas? Say, dog, really? You really gonna try that one? I want to be well read. Is that what we doing? Is that really what we doing? So since we are in the freaky ass part of the show, let's now go to Texas, where mega church pastor Donald Trump spiritual advisor Robert Morris, homie done pled guilty to sexually abusing a child. According to NBC, under a plea agreement, Morris was given a 10-year sentence, but he's only going to serve 6 months in an Oklahoma jail. That's right. Look at this here. Look at the photo of Morris in handcuffs. Bet that ain't the first time he been in cuffs. So the article So Morris is 64 years old, and this happened when he sexually abused a girl in the 1980s. So when you read the article, so you see right here, this woman, Cindy Clemenshire, she accused Morris of molesting her when she was 12 years old. She actually was in the courtroom, surrounded by family, and Morris actually accepted responsibility. And remember, they were running from this. Now, y'all, oh my goodness, he founded Gateway Church in 2000. It's in South Lake. Oh man, it's so many white conservatives go there. They are all MAGA. And boy, ain't this something? I mean, my goodness, Reese, we got the sexually abusing pastor in Texas. We got the Nazi freak in Virginia. We got the super freak in Wisconsin. Man, that's a trifecta for the party of family values.
Yeah, it's a bunch of nasty ass motherfuckers and some criminals. Yes. Y'all nasty. Y'all nasty as fuck.
Easy day.
And that pastor, what part of the Bible is that? You gonna burn in hell. How about that? Okay, you might get 6 months in jail, but you're burning in hell for eternity for doing that shit to motherfucking kids. This is crazy. The guy talking about well-read, y'all are the party of book banning last I checked. So y'all don't give a damn about being well-read. Y'all don't give a damn about learning. So you was looking at that shit because you a freaky deaky nasty ass motherfucker. So don't try to sit up there and gaslight us that this is some sort of open-minded, exploratory reading assignment. No, because y'all don't like people to read about anything other than white Christo nationalist propaganda. So I'm not buying it. But this is who this party is. Was it Lindsey Graham who just the other day was saying that we should be nicer to pedophiles? Wasn't it one of them who said something like that? Y'all remember?
Ted Cruz.
You remember Zachary? Ted Cruz.
Yeah, it was Ted.
Thank you, Ted Cruz. Yeah.
Ted Cruz.
So this all tracks. This tracks. Look at who the Secretary of Defense is. Look at who the president is. Look at who all of these people are. It's a feature, not a bug, to be a degenerate and to be into some freaky deaky shit that is quite crazy.
Exactly. They love trashing Democrats, talking about y'all love drag folks at libraries and all kinds of stuff. Oh, just in case, hey, here's Robert Morris with Donnie Jr. Check this out. Here's Robert Morris with Eric Trump. Boy.
Ugh. Take it down. Take it down. The people don't want to see that. This lady, it is dinner time in America. People are they're watching the show, prepping for dinner, eating dinner. Take it down. These are.
I'm going to show this one too.
Oh, here we go.
Twinsies.
These are degenerates who are deflecting. Release the Epstein files. Release the Epstein files. Release the Epstein files. You know what? The vast majority of MAGA are not going to in any way change their minds, change their hearts, or change their allegiances to these people because they are a part of a movement, and all of these values that are real, like what you just talked about, are ingrained in a part of that movement. But there are a few people who will, because they're learning these things, possibly err on the side of human decency and turn against the foolishness that these people represent and that they stand for. And when you talked about these three instances, criminality, criminal behavior, it's more than freaky deaky. It's criminal. What that pastor did is criminal.
Yep.
He ruined a
criminal. She was 12.
You never know how many more. But what I'm exceptionally concerned about that, but even also exceptionally, so this is keep it real. Now, what was the black man's name? We're playing around with Mr. Republican in Virginia.
Oh,
well, now here's the deal. Now, Reed said, here's the deal. Reed says it's not true. He says,
No,
hold on, wait. I'm going it. Reed says the story is not true. He says the story is false. He says it's malicious. So this was reported. So I'm stating what he said regarding the story. But hold on. But before you go there, I do want to do this here because I saw this great compilation of Morris out of Texas, and I'm like, okay, I gotta play this. Watch this.
Oh, here we go.
It's the best way for me to come clean. It has taken years for me to get over the images and the things that I saw that no person should have ever seen. Are y'all hearing me? Rape. Why was it so easy for me? You learned how to lie. I was very, very involved in sexual immorality for many, many years.
And I will plow longer than what you expected.
It's easy for me to say I used to be on drugs.
I had this kind of sick feeling.
And I want to tell you everything that I've ever done. But there's a shame.
12 and under is a child.
If you're looking at pornography on the internet, tell us.
And you'll say, what are you bringing that into my field for? It's not right. It doesn't look right. It doesn't smell right.
And so I said to the Lord, well, Lord, I know that you've declared me not righteous. I was a fornicator. And then there were also a couple of guys allowing Satan to work in that area. You have to sneak around to do it. I looked for the girls that would be the most susceptible.
Dig deeply into your field, much deeper than what you thought or what you expected.
Satisfying an appetite that you created. Immorality came easy for me. Pornography, premarital sex, temptation. I was very immoral, and I was immoral a lot from a very early age.
You shall be plowed.
I was the guy that involved with the immorality. Could meet a girl and be immoral the same night. You and I know the truth. You and I know I really am guilty. They understood that was wrong for a man to force himself on a woman.
Great people. Great people with a great reputation, I have to say that. Great reputation.
Cut, Zachary. That was cold-blooded.
Shady Grove. Listen, that you just, and then I kept looking at his hair. Thank you, Jesus, for blackness. Thank you, Jesus, for blackness. Thank you, Jesus, for blackness. And that's why I'm concerned, when there was the alleged black man and the alleged whatever that other guy did, the Republic. I'm so sick of certain groups infecting our community with their degeneracy. That's what I wanted to say. Keep that shit out of our community. Stop embracing it. Stop embracing these people and their perversions. So I want to put that piece in, Roland.
Well, I mean, I just, again, they love Nola saying all sorts of things. And so, I mean, we might as well just share a little bit more video of Robert Morris and Trump sharing a stage in 2020.
The team has been incredible in hosting us. And I'd now like to ask Pastor Morris and Bishop Jackson to lead us in prayer.
Well, Robert Morris just resigned from his church following allegations that he sexually abused a child. In a statement to an evangelical news site, Morris said he was involved in an inappropriate...
Now here's the crazy thing. Now, what he said with Nola was he was involved in an inappropriate... That's with a young lady. He never really explained. He called it inappropriate sexual behavior with a young lady. So when that happened, people were like, okay, was she 18? Was she 20? And she was 12, he was 21.
This is one of the things, one of the problems that I have with a lot of churches is it excuses a lot of bad behavior, especially from leaders. And that really is a tension that I have. I have my own baggage. I have my own trauma growing up Catholic, going to a school where a priest was actively molesting my friends. That happened. So when it comes to issues like this, and then when it comes to, the way in which the institution can rally around you, can make it seem like those horrific and horrible criminal acts were somehow just, they were just sinful and flesh is weak and all of these things. So I really struggle with the idea of forgiveness and then the way that many churches just kind of ignore criminality. And this is one of those moments for me, not to mention that you have all the receipts of this person buddy with all of Trump world. None of that is surprising. It almost mimics, some of the behavior, some of these institutions that completely just ignore and normalize a lot of these behaviors from these leaders. MAGA is the same way. When Hillary Clinton called them deplorables back in the day, off with her head sort of thing. But this keeps bearing out. It keeps showing up time after time after time. And at some point, that accountability piece, a lot of Christians have to look inward and ask themselves, what is the difference between criminality and forgiveness of someone who, had bad judgment or was going through a tough time? In my mind, those things are they're two different issues. And this is something that all faiths, all institutions have to truly confront and figure out who is it that they want to be for their congregants, especially children. Not that he was in his 20s when this happened, right? So he wasn't a pastor then. Is that
no,
correct?
No. He was
allegedly. That's what he said in his book. He was selling drugs.
Yeah. So, but hey, first of all, I don't give a damn. I don't care if he wasn't a pastor then. The reality is, Robert Morris, how he told the story, and this is one reason why the church was like, yeah, you got to go, player, is because he misled them about this. It was inappropriate behavior with a young lady. A 12-year-old girl ain't a lady.
No.
A 12-year-old girl is a girl. And he knew what he was saying, and he was full of shit for saying it. Now, what I'm pissed off is his punk ass only gonna spend 6 months in jail.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Okay, 10-year sentence and reduced to 6, not even 1, that's weak as hell. And I don't care if it happened in the 1980s. Don't matter. Justice is justice. So that's where that stands there. All right, y'all. Let me go to a quick break. When I come back, lots of drama in Chicago. Trump sent his thugs to Chicago. They are rappelling down buildings, busting up shelters. knocking stuff over. You got Stephen Miller, racist ass in Memphis, saying to the cops, you are now unleashed to go after all the thugs in Memphis. These dictators are losing their minds, and yes, they're fascists, and what they want to do is they want to make this a military state. That's what they want to do, pure and simple. We're going to talk to a couple of folks with a digital outlet in Chicago. That's next right here. Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. Support the work that we do. Join our Bring the Funk fan club. Your support is critical, folks. If you want to contribute to us via Cash App, do so using the Stripe QR code. You see it right here. Also, that's for Cash App, credit cards as well. PayPal's R Martin Unfiltered, Venmo's RM Unfiltered, Zelle, Roland at RolandSMartin.com, Roland at RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Check some money order, make it payable to Roland Martin Unfiltered, P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 2003 7-0196. Back in a moment.
They said the quiet part out loud. Black votes are a threat, so they erased them. After the Supreme Court gutted the Voting Rights Act in 2013, Republican legislatures moved fast. New voter ID laws, polling place shutdowns, purges of black voters from the rolls. Trump's Justice Department didn't stop it, they joined in. In 2018, his DOJ backed Ohio's voter purge system, a scheme that disproportionately erased black voters. Their goal, erase black votes and political power. Yeah, that happened. These are the kinds of stories that we cover every day on Roland Martin Unfiltered. Subscribe on YouTube and download the Black Star Network app. Support fact-based independent journalism that centers African Americans and the issues that matter to our community.
This week on The Other Side of Change.
We are talking about our North Star, our luminary, our guide, Assada Shakur, who recently passed away in Cuba. We're going to unpack her legacy.
I refuse to allow Assada's legacy to die before children that aren't even born. Like our babies that aren't even born must know her and must know her. And that roadmap is going to get us closer to liberation.
You're watching The Other Side of Change only on the Black Star Network.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase, and I'm here with a very important message. We are at a turning point in the Black community where we must have equity in the apps we use that scale to billions of dollars. But this time, we own the infrastructure, we own the culture, and we shape the future. And Fanbase is the future. Fanbase combines the free functionality of Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube into an all-in-one platform built for the evolution of social media and monetization. With over 1.4 million users, that's real proof that we are shifting the conversation of tech ownership and equity for creators. So right now, I want you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. This marks a turning point in Black ownership of social media. If we don't take this opportunity to own social media right now, we will always be customers to our own creations. And that can't go on. So once again, go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. We must own the platforms where our voices live, our stories matter, and where our culture drives the world. Thank you.
This is Eric Dickerson, and you're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
All right, folks, Donald Trump's patrol agents have been in Chicago, walking in packs along Michigan Avenue where there's just so much crime happening. They're also monitoring other popular downtown destinations. Last week, the Department of Homeland Security reported that more than 900 arrests have been made as federal officers continue to target what the administration describes as the worst of the worst. In 2016, filmmaker Morgan Elise Johnson and journalist Tiffany Walden launched The Tribe, that's with 2 I's, a digital media platform designed to reshape the narrative of Black Chicago. They've been covering the increasing militarization of Chicago. They join us right now. I'm glad to have both of y'all here. So for the folk who have been following, so how have y'all been covering this on your platform?
For sure. Thank you for having us on the show, Roland. Since
Trump announced in August that he was interested in sending troops here to increasing the immigration enforcement here in Chicago. We just hit the ground running, and we've been covering every single day a lot of the ICE activity that's been happening here in Chicago, and it started out, in the surrounding Chicagoland area in the suburbs, and now, it's in the city. And just this past week, it started to reach Black Chicago neighborhoods of South Shore, of Bronzeville, and just yesterday on the west side of Chicago, where we're located, a man was put in a chokehold by a federal agent. A Black man, in fact, was put in a chokehold by a federal agent here on the west side. So it's ramping up every single day here in Chicago, and I don't think that it's getting the national attention because everyone's so focused on the troops coming here. But this is a militarized federal enforcement activity that's happening here in Chicago, and it's terrorizing all communities, including the Black community.
This is your website right now. You see it right here. You see the story. Video shows feds choking a Black man in East Garfield Park. The next one, new details emerged surrounding incident that led to a Black man being choked by the feds of Chicago. Federal agents again record observers. Others load older man into. So y'all really on top of this. And how have people been responding? Have you seen an increase in traffic? Are you seeing people sharing information and really going to y'all on this?
Our web traffic has like tripled. We're seeing historic numbers on our website. People are really wanting to know what's happening in regards to ICE and this militarized force that's coming to their neighborhoods. Chicago is a place where I think a lot of people focus so much on the city, but the immigration tactic that they're using here does include the suburbs. And so now you have suburban residents, volunteers, city organizers, everybody's working together to try to be there for each other and support each other. And, for us, we're even talking to people in LA and DC. We had a LA publication reach out to us, LA Taco, to talk about, the work that we're doing and the collaborations that we're doing with other independent media. And the same thing with DC. We have a story on our website right now where organizers are giving advice to Chicagoans on how to deal with such militarized force in the city, since they've been dealing with that already. So we're seeing a lot of, I hate to say positive response, but we're just seeing a lot of response and gratefulness for our coverage here in Chicago.
We've seen journalists being targeted as well. Have your journalists encountered any issues as it relates to being out there reporting?
Well, the tribe has working with a collaboration of about 10 local independent organizations. So although none of our journalists have been targeted at this time, one journalist who we've been working with at a publication called Unrivaled was detained by federal agents at a Broadview ICE detention facility, which is a couple of miles west of Chicago. So he was detained while covering a protest there, and journalists here in the city rallied to put out statements and to put pressure on the government to release him. But many people who have been protesting have been detained, and Steve is a white man, so he told us that there are people of color are being detained. They're not having as good of luck as he had with getting released so quickly. So it's definitely concerning for us and everybody who's been following this about the safety of journalists, because they have been targeted.
And Roland, I just want to add to that too. I went out to Broadview about 2 weeks ago. I have family in Broadview. Like, I'm very familiar with the suburb. It's wild to watch what they're doing to people out there in Broadview. I saw with my own eyes. There's snipers on the roof of the boarded up Broadview ICE facility. They're shooting people with pepper bullets. They intentionally threw a tear gas canister towards a clearly marked ABC 7 news truck, and the whole row of media who was in that area, in that vicinity, inhaled that tear gas and was visibly impacted by it. So it's very aggressive, and it's a very excessive use of force happening out there in Broadview every week.
Them also repelling from Black Hawk helicopters down buildings as well. And so is this happening around the clock?
The tactics changed. So I will say in the early part of this in September, they were doing early morning raids. So there was one that got a lot of media attention that happened in a suburb called Elgin, where Christy Nome, the CBP, they all came out there. They had all of their, militarized outfits on, and they did a raid on a home where they broke into this home, tore down the doors, and they actually detained a U.S. citizen before letting them go hours later. Then they kept some other people that they took from that raid. And so now what you're seeing is them kind of gravitate towards kind of in the wee hours of the night. And in the evening, they're doing raids now, like the one in South Shore. They went to an apartment building in a Black neighborhood and just raided that entire apartment building. I think they took like 37 people in that raid, but there were children that were zip tied outside. There were Black people who were detained during that particular raid. So the tactics seem to change every 2 weeks.
And Roland, when you think about safety, we have Black people whose homes, the doors were knocked off the hinges. Their homes were raided. Children were detained and zip tied. So when we talk about public safety, these people have to return to their homes without having doors on the hinges, like with completely being exposed. People were obtained while undressed. So they really don't have any regard for the community. Black people certainly didn't ask for this, and people are outraged.
Broadway, Illinois Police Chief Thomas Mills has been speaking out, angry with how ICE officers are trashing even local officers. This is what he said at a news conference.
My name is Thomas Mills. I am the Chief of Police for the Village of Broadview. We are experiencing an immediate public safety crisis. The deployment of tear gas, pepper spray, mace, and rubber bullets by ICE near the processing center in the Village of Broadview is creating a dangerous situation for the community and all first responders. Broadview residents, police officers, and firefighters, paramedics are being exposed to these agents. Our own Broadview police are routinely being exposed to ICE tear gas, forcing them out for an amount of time so they can decontaminate, get their breath, clear their eyes, which takes them out of service. The use of these weapons is directly harming Broadview's first responders. Currently, the Broadview Police Department has launched 3 separate criminal investigations into ICE activities since the Midway Blitz began in the Chicago area. We have requested the full cooperation of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security in these investigations, and we expect that cooperation to happen.
And what he's been saying is just how they've been treated. This was another clip. Give me 1 second. I saw this in a local news report. Watch this.
I was shocked. I've never been spoken to by a fellow law enforcement officer in such a way.
Broadview Police Chief Thomas Mills says on top of requiring 75% of his department's manpower for crowd control outside of the ICE processing facility in the west suburban city, he was personally, verbally attacked by ICE agents during a protest.
I'm a leader of a department. I know that my officers are looking at me for guidance and leadership, and I had to ensure that, I had to stay calm and not engage in such unprofessional behavior.
Chief Mills says he was walking across a skirmish on September 12th, the day this video was shot. He was called multiple expletives by an ICE agent, calling him a coward, accusing him of neglecting his duties during protests that got physical. Mills also telling the I-Team about an incident earlier this week where a pedestrian was hit by a truck near the ICE facility.
Allegedly, a ICE agent struck someone and continued on into their location. And during the course of that, while trying to gather information, there was pepper spray release while my officers right there. They felt the effects of that pepper spray where it altered their vision. They were coughing, and I was on the phone with them, and they had to leave the area so they can decontaminate themselves.
Now,
It's, crazy. They don't give a damn. Here's what they know. They know, Morgan and Tiffany, they can do whatever they want. Donald Trump has given them full and complete authority to do whatever the hell they want to do.
Yeah, and keep in mind that Broadview's mayor is a black woman. The leadership in Broadview is black. The suburb is a predominantly black suburb, I believe, at this point. It used to be a white suburb, now it's black. So that just further shows the level and extent of the attacks that this Trump administration is willing to put on black leadership and particularly black mayors across this country.
And Roland, unchecked power is always an issue. It always can lead to abuse. So these federal agents are under the directive of the Trump administration. So they're following orders based on what the Trump administration is requiring or encouraging them to do. And we know that the leadership out of the White House is incredibly racist and doesn't really have any regard for the law. So we shouldn't expect these federal agents to really have any regard either.
It seems like it's a game to them, to be honest. Again, with our collaboration that we're doing, where we're tracking ICE activity daily, and one of the stories, there's a video recording of someone recording ICE doing their enforcement, and the ICE agent looks directly in the camera and says, "I hope you get my good side." So it's like, this is a game, to them, that they're, acting out whatever it is that Trump and them are trying to achieve with it. But they have no regards for humanity or respect for people or anything in the actions that they're doing.
Questions from the panel. Zachary, you first.
My question is, I'm looking at and thinking about all of my, supporters, followers, people out there on social media who are going to see this in clip, taking key parts, making content around it. What is the top line message that you want to get out to the people in terms of how people in other parts of the country can support Chicago and the work that you guys are doing?
Well, so many people are asking us, what can local governments do? How can we resist? How can we fight back? We definitely encourage people to lift their voices, spread information, know their rights, know that your local government kind of has their hands tied. The way that they can fight back is really in the courts. But when it comes to the Department of Homeland Security, that was created by Congress. It's going to take acts of Congress in order to reel this back. So this is about Republican leadership owning this, and these failed policies and their failure to hold Donald Trump accountable. The only way this stops is if Donald Trump is removed, or by an act of Congress, or if ICE is defunded. And that is all in the hands of our Congress. So this is about, how do we organize, how do we mobilize people to make sure that there are public officials in place who can reel back all of this unchecked power that's coming out of Washington.
And to add to that, for me, a big takeaway is coming out of yesterday's story regarding the black man who was put in a chokehold by the federal agents. There was witness video that you can hear people in the background saying, he's not an immigrant. This is, y'all only supposed to be choking Mexicans and things like that. So I think us as a people and also us as a nation, we have to get out of this mentality of this isn't happening to us, or that this isn't our fight. This is everybody's fight, and that if it's not impacting you right now, it's going to impact you eventually. And I think yesterday, the black community woke up, or at least this week, starting with what happened in South Shore. I think there was a homeless shelter in Bronzeville that a black pastor has been speaking out about. And then now what happened on the west side. People are waking up to see that this level of just ruthlessness from the Trump administration is going to spread outside of the immigrant community. And I'm seeing people wake up at this point.
Hey, what happened to that loud-ass MAGA Negro in Chicago, Chicago Red or whatever? Has she been running her mouth?
They're celebrating. They celebrated what happened in South Shore during the raid at that apartment building because I can't remember if it was DHS or if it was CBP, but one of one of those agencies came in and said that they detained 37 people. And for them, that's the win. They're just like, yeah, get these Venezuelans, get these people up out of here. So they're still around, but people just,
Yeah, but I just want to say that that's not a real movement that has a lot of steam here in the city of Chicago.
Oh, no, I understand.
Yeah,
I know about the movement, but
noise, but yeah.
right, they make a whole bunch of noise, but again, these are the folks who are always attacking Mayor Johnson, always attacking Democrats, claiming they stand up for black people against so-called the invasion, but I was wondering if they got anything to say about black folks being attacked, being impacted. You talked about the pastor's been speaking of, that's Pastor Chris Harris. Listen to this right here.
From ICE and Customs and Borders Patrol stormed and raided our Bronzeville homeless shelter that the city of Chicago asked our CDC to manage. Their actions traumatized our residents, unsettled our neighbors, and shook the very staff who sacrificially served the 260 men and women who called this shelter home. Without warning, 7 to 8 unmarked vehicles arrived. More than 30 armed agents leapt out unannounced and began chasing people, human beings who were merely standing outside of their shelter, preparing to head to work. Now, let me emphasize, 60% of our immigrant residents are employed and work every single day. This is actual footage from our security cameras showing you what this terrifying raid looked like, but no words can describe what this dehumanizing act felt like. Some had legal papers and were literally snatched from the streets. I saw it with my own eyes. When we handed one agent the official papers of a legal resident, the masked agent took the documents, shoved our handcuffed resident into an unmarked vehicle, and sped off. That helplessness, watching dignity stripped and lives shattered in seconds, is a trauma that no community should endure. And we must ask, is this activity a rehearsal for something darker? Perhaps even martial law. I get it. Some say they shouldn't be here illegally. Others feel frustration that migrants received resources while so many of our own unhoused and unemployed still struggle. I hear that. I understand that. But today, I'm not asking us to debate politics, partisanship, or even the valid tensions that exist. I'm asking us to consider this. What is the role of humanity in moments like this? As a faith leader, I choose to anchor myself with what Micah chapter 6, verse 8 declares. He has shown you, O mortal, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? To act justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with your God. This is not about political sides. This is about moral responsibility. Many in our city feel helpless, unsure what to do. Let me be clear. We must continue to serve. We must continue to house, clothe, and feed the more than 260 residents entrusted to us, no matter what. But let me be honest, this crisis has made the work even harder. Some of our residents who were working will now lose their jobs out of fear for being seized on their way to or from work. Serving this many...
Nola, what's your question?
So first and foremost, thank you so much for the work that you're doing. I've been hearing so much about you all from folks in Chicago saying you are doing the real reporting coming out of Chicago right now. My question is, this work can't be easy. How can people support you all, support the work that you're doing? How can people help support financially or just by getting the word out? Because it's going to take your voices to tell the people the truth. And a lot of people are listening to you all right now. So how can the people support?
Thank you so much. The tribe, we are the owners of the tribe, and we've been around for 8 years. And it's going to take the people to allow us to be able to continue to be independent and to tell the truth. So you can go to our website right now, thetribe.com, TheTriibe.com. A pop-up will come on your screen, and it will prompt you to give a contribution or to become a member. We would love for you all to join our newsletter, make a monthly contribution so that this work can be ongoing.
Reese.
Thank you for the work that you're doing. I'm curious what you've reported in terms of the aftermath of these raids. We know that these agents are coming in guns blazing, maybe not shooting people in the literal sense, but knocking down doors, destroying property. Can you talk a little bit for people out there who aren't aware of what happens next and what people are left with once these agents leave?
They're trying to rebuild their homes. In South Shore, for example, that apartment building, it's in a community, a predominantly Black community, where a lot of people are living, in apartments that have questionable ownership. We've been covering some of those apartments out there where they are living, they're owned by slumlords, and the conditions of the apartments themselves already were in bad shape. So now on top of, already having that tenant fight of trying to have equitable housing, they now have to rebuild after ISIS just plowed through their living spaces and just left it in complete shambles. People's doors are off the hinges. People who had become friends with some of the Venezuelans who lived in that building, like now their neighbors are gone. The kids are gone or are uprooted. So yeah, people are just trying to figure out how to put the pieces back together. And there's a lot of organizations in Chicago, rapid response organizations, and different activists on the ground who are speaking with residents and trying to help them rebuild after this.
All right, folks, if you want to support the tribe, pull up my iPad, please. If you go to TheTriibe.com, you see they have their reshaped newsletter. You can do monthly or annual. You can do 10, 20, 50, or even custom amounts. So you got that right there. So please check that out and to support. Again, this is right here. If you go to their main page, you'll see their stories right there as well. You can get their alerts. Pull up their social media stuff. Do y'all have it? Y'all do a graphic of their social media stuff? All right, we should have a graphic of their social media stuff. Hold on, let me go to it. All right, let's see here. So you can follow them on Instagram. Let's see here. You can follow them. Well, we'll pull it up. But again, they're on Facebook, Twitter. I don't call it X. Instagram, YouTube, as well as TikTok. So check them out. And I expect to be seeing that shirt in my mailbox next week so I can wear it.
It's on the way. I promise you it's in the mail.
So I can wear it on the on the show and so represent. So great work. So please, y'all, go to the tribe, TheTriibe.com. Morgan, Tiffany, thanks a lot.
Thank you for your support, Roland. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, y'all. Going to a break. We'll be right back. Support Black-owned media, y'all, on the local level, the national level. We'll be right back.
In my book, The Power to Persist, I share 8 simple yet powerful habits, a blueprint for transforming obstacles into opportunities and pressure into purpose. Just as they fueled my rise from the south side of Chicago to a national stage. And on the Power to Persist podcast, I bring that blueprint to life.
This week on A Balanced Life, parents, teachers, students, administrators, oh my, are you putting in the work, seeking to be a teacher, an associate principal, a principal, trying to elevate who you are and where you're going?
Our world is changing. For veteran teachers, we have to be able to usher in students into a ever changing, ever-evolving world.
If we have this triangular effect, we will create a successful student who will be able to just thrive wherever and in any situation that they're placed in.
Join us this week on A Balanced Life with Dr. Jackie here on Black Star Network.
Melanie Campbell, National Coalition on Black Civic Participation and Black Women's Roundtable. And we are watching Roland Martin Unfiltered all day, every day, 24/7. Spread the word.
Oh, y'all, Bad Bunny's Super Bowl spotlight is already turning political after the NFL announced he'll be headlining the 2026 halftime show. Trump advisor Corey Lewandowski, you know, the one they say has been cheating with Ice Barbie, Christy Nome? He claimed Ice will have a major presence at the game, saying, quote, "There is nowhere safe for people here illegally, not even the Super Bowl." Lewandowski blasted the NFL for picking an artist he claims, quote, hates America, fueling fresh backlash from maggots. The Trump administration is targeting Latino fans with aggressive immigration enforcement. Bunny, a U.S. citizen, has called his performance a win for his people, his culture, and his history, setting up a halftime show that will be about more than just music. First of all, let's just be real clear here, Dola. It ain't like you gonna have a whole bunch of people who are undocumented workers at the Super Bowl unless they working for a bunch of them corporate sponsors.
Facts. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're just going to take people just because they're brown. I mean, that's what's literally going to happen. You know, when you work events like that, there is a level of security. You know, people have to be vetted when people are hired. It's not the situation where I'm rolling up to Home Depot on Sunset Boulevard or Hollywood Boulevard looking for somebody to help me, you know, hang up a portrait. You know, so these are people who are vetted to work in that space. So these people are going to pull up, they're going to cause chaos, and they're just going to take people is what's going to happen. And we've seen that they don't care about optics. They don't care about optics because mainstream media probably wouldn't show that anyway. So it's definitely going to be down to independent media, independent voices, influencers who are there or around. Like, it's going to have to be like an alternative media ecosystem to be able to capture what's about to happen at this event, because Fox News won't show it. But these people are going to show up and cause chaos.
Reese, ain't nobody scared of punk ass Corey Lewandowski.
First of all, Corey Lewandowski, Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens, bitch. I don't know why you didn't learn that.
Yeah, like where they gonna get deported? To Arkansas? Come on.
Lord Jesus.
No, somewhere in Africa.
Soybeans.
And last I checked, I mean, I could have sworn that Donald Trump did better with Puerto Ricans in this past election in New York and New Jersey. So why they got beef for Puerto Rico? That don't make any sense. They're just racist. That's what it boils down to. But I think that Bad Bunny gonna kill it. And if it triggers MAGA, that's even better. A win is a win for me.
Yeah, I just think, oh my God, Zachary, I can't believe how stupid these people are. Yeah, we're gonna be there. We're gonna be there. So you Puerto Ricans show up, we're gonna take y'all home.
They're definitely not going to take them home because they're home. This is showing their ignorance. Honestly, they really don't know that Puerto Ricans are Americans. These MAGA people don't know that. And I think we did have an increase in Puerto Rican voters in some states, but in Puerto Rico itself, absolutely not. The Puerto Rican people in Puerto Rico voted overwhelmingly for VP. Listen, this is a huge milestone for the Super Bowl and for the people and for the culture, period. Bad Bunny has stood up on the right side of history time and time again, stood up in support of the right trends in our culture time and time again. And I'm super excited. This man has surpassed 100 million album sales worldwide. He is one of the top selling artists, not of the year, not of the decade, but of all fucking time. And he is the greatest and most acclaimed Latin artist in history. He is the winner of 3 Grammy Awards, 12 Latin Grammy Awards, 8 Billboard Music Awards, and multiple other honors, including being named Billboard's Artist of the Year. However, I do not think he has a BET Award, and I don't think neither does Bia, according to Cardi B. With all of that said, this is huge for the culture, huge for the people, and I cannot wait to see Benito Ocasio on the stage. This is one Super Bowl I'm looking forward to.
Well,
and
Nola.
Fuck MAGA. You don't deserve to watch it. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. You miss out.
Well, you know, Nola, I saw that old grossly unqualified, ragged-ass NASCAR driver, Danica Patrick. She tweeted, let me tell you, y'all don't mind paying her ignorant ass. Oh, fun. No songs in English should not be allowed at one of America's highest-rated television events of the year, not just for sports. Okay, let's see here. Okay, you're stupid. Okay, let's be real clear. Hey, Danica, Henry, go ahead and just get right here, right here, right here, right here. Okay, Danica, the Super Bowl is a football game. The Super Bowl is not a halftime with the football as a sideshow. Just letting you know, it's a football game. That's what it is. A game of football. The operative word is game, where we are going to watch somebody, not the Cowboys, win. Now, you are familiar, Dana, with not winning because your ass didn't win nothing in NASCAR. You ain't win nothing. You ain't, your flat ass didn't win nothing. Nothing at all. So for you to sit here and go, the game is not just for sports. Yes, it is, because it's a game. That's how ignorant these folks are, Nola. I mean, these folk are just, they literally are losing their ever-loving mind. See, they all running around. Why can't we have Jason Aldean? I love this one here. Now they tweeting, I think Turning Point USA should have an alternative halftime show. We should have Creed. Creed? They
should do that.
No, I'm trying to figure, hold up. They gonna have Apollo Creed? What Creed they gonna have? Ain't nobody watching that bullshit. Guess what? I posted on social. I said, please do your own halftime show and burn that money. Please.
Yep.
Burn as much money as you can on y'all sitting here having a hoedown because y'all are mad with Bad Bunny. No, look on here.
You know what's so hilarious about this time? I'm going to tap into my Dr. Greg Hart tonight. The racism is really racisming, like, right now. Like, these are some wild times. And, you know, the way that they are trying to, like, make it seem, you know, cozy and Americana. Oh, I'm just expressing an opinion. No, you are being blatantly racist, hon. You are being... These times are so interesting that we are living in, because it's okay for her to get up there and say something like, oh, great, no English. Just completely just taking a jab at so many people in this country. And again, we need to point out, geography class, where is Puerto Rico, folks? It is not in Latin America. I know they think that, right? But it really isn't. And you know, I'm giggling right now because yes, I agree. Y'all want to go ahead and y'all want to produce that show, and then at the end we come back and we show receipts, just like when Jimmy Kimmel was kicked off, and then they were like, oh, you know, whatever, bye Jimmy, and then the people spoke up. And Jimmy's receipts came out the night when he came back. So let's go ahead. Y'all go ahead and book Creed. Let's see what Bad Bunny up against Creed with those two shows look like. Go ahead and do it. I will actually watch.
But here's the one that cracks me up. I'm just confused, y'all. Do white folks still eat tacos?
Yeah, they still eat them.
Yeah.
Well,
they love tacos Tuesday.
Do white folks still drink tequila?
Tear it down. That's their favorite drink of choice. They think they made it. They drink it so much.
I want to yeah.
So, I mean, did white folks bypass fajitas?
Never.
So I'm just trying to understand. I love all these people who talk about white culture. What y'all got? Meatloaf?
They don't even know.
Potato salad with raisins?
Roland, I have meatloaf upstairs. I'm going to tear up at 8 o'clock.
Your ass got meatloaf?
He said 8 o'clock, Roland. Just low key. You heard that, right? 8 o'clock.
Your ass got some meatloaf? Who you got some? You got some white neighbors?
No, I got it from the soul food spot around the corner.
Oh, you have seasoned meatloaf.
It's very
He's
seasoned.
saying they can't even claim the meatloaf because black people do meatloaf. That's what you're trying to say.
Listen, you just can't put a big old piece of meat in the oven and think this is gonna magically just taste good. I mean,
No. We don't need you talking about cooking. Stop.
You know what?
Nola, stop.
Just because you haven't had my gumbo.
Nola, ain't nobody had your gumbo.
What you're not about to do.
Nola, ain't nobody had your gumbo.
Talk about food coming out of my kitchen.
Nola, ain't nobody had your gumbo.
You haven't had my gumbo.
Ain't nobody had your gumbo.
You haven't had my gumbo.
Ain't nobody had your etouffee.
You have nothing better else to do tonight.
Ain't nobody had your etouffee. Ain't nobody had your jambalaya.
We talk about white people.
ain't nobody had your beignets. Ain't nobody had
black on black crime.
What?
Right. What is this?
No, ain't nobody had your fried chicken. Ain't nobody had your bread pudding. Stop it.
And nobody meaning him.
Nola, you know doggone well you are the DoorDash Uber Eats queen. Stop it.
I am not. Who told you that lie?
Anyway, I am just sick and tired of, Lord, these people getting on my nerves. Do y'all understand that if black people, Latino people, and Asian people just got up and left America, white folks wouldn't know how to dance. They wouldn't know. They wouldn't have no food to eat. They wouldn't know how to dress. It kills me. It kills me, Reese, how they really act like they have not benefited from diversity.
Well, they know they have, but you just got people who just a little salty because they ain't got the seasoning, they ain't got the swag that we have. To be honest, though, they got their own little world. Cause I couldn't name 3 country bands outside of Beyonce, Shabuzi, and like Tanner. And I know the black ones. I don't know none of the white ones like that. So. They have their own stuff. I don't know why they got to be mad that other people have stuff too, because they got their own stuff. They got heavy metal and shit. They got mostly country. So what's the problem? I don't understand people who have everything always so mad that somebody else get a little bit of piece of the pie.
Right. I mean, I don't understand it. And I don't think I did anything on this here. But did y'all know that them white folks got so mad at Beyonce that they changed the damn Grammy category? Mm-hmm. Did y'all know that?
Oh, I do remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they got so mad that Lou Alcindor, also Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, dominated basketball so much they outlawed dunking. And now you can't dunk. You can't dunk. So these folk here got so upset that they just changed the rule. Matter of fact, this is an article in the Hollywood Reporter. How the Grammys' new Beyonce rule is polarizing country music. What they say right here, what they did was the Academy says the change will award modern country while still giving a chance to recognize sub-genres like Americana. In June, Recording Academy CEO Harvey Mason Jr. insisted the proposal to bifurcate country into two categories had been submitted well before Beyonce's win, and that country stakeholders had brought this proposal forward several times in the past. The community of people making country music in all different subgenres came to us with the proposal and said they wanted more variety in how their music is honored. It makes country parallel with what's happening in other genres, but it's also creating space for where this genre is going. Now, Harvey black, but Harvey know what they did. They like, y'all keep having them Beyonce doing country music. Y'all see Neo dropped a new country song? It don't really sound country. It sound really more R&B. But he did put a black cowboy hat on, so I guess he called it country.
Well, you threw a cowboy hat on out of nowhere. I had to rewind it like, did Roland have his cowboy hat on the whole show?
Oh, baby, I came here with
Well, at least he's from that part of the world.
I think a cowboy hat look good. I need one because my head is big, so I need to get a cowboy hat that can fit my head.
Oh, baby, I came here with it. So, I got about 25, so...
Roland.
Let me hold one.
I came here with it. See, I don't wear them trucker hats like Nola, but here's a perfect example that they so mad at black people. Shit, we gonna change the damn category. We gonna change the category.
You must be that bitch for them to do that though. Like that's power.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, these people literally.
With that press.
They literally are upset. They mad. It's like, damn it, we gonna change the category because we just can't handle y'all winning. I'm like, man, y'all come on.
I love it.
Y'all come on.
Sounds like DEI.
Right. No, sound like a quota.
Mm-hmm.
Sound like a quota.
Sounds like we can't win nothing on our own merits.
And remember, she said in her acceptance speech, I think sometimes genre is a code word to keep us in our place as artists. And I just want to encourage people to do what they're passionate about and stay persistent. Now, y'all need to understand, which is why I think this is hilarious, because the reality, and again, this is the article that is in the Hollywood Reporter. And let me go ahead and say this. No, going back. Let me just say this here. I know y'all love y'all some Trish Yearwood and the rest of them, but that black woman from Houston is sexy as hell in a cowboy hat. That's what y'all really mad about. What y'all really mad about them outfits when she had on Cowboy Carter, because y'all know y'all ain't got nobody in y'all entire grouping fine as her. Y'all know that. Y'all know that. That's why y'all mad. They hot, Zachary, because she wear the hell out them chaps. That's why they mad.
Black parade.
That's why they mad.
The Philly ain't never had and never will had. That's why Aaron Rodgers left her.
They mad.
Well, that's not really why he left her. I mean,
See, because here's what they really said. Damn it, we used to have tennis. We had tennis, but it was Serena and Venus. Shit, we had golf. Here come that damn Tiger. Shit, we had ice hockey. No, you actually didn't have ice hockey because, as Dick Gregory broke down, the Stanley Cup actually came from black people playing hockey in Canada. See, so y'all can't even claim that. So they were just sitting there saying, all we had left was country music.
Country.
Oh, the last thing, we had the Oak Ridge Boys. We had us Lee Greenwood. Oh, we had us Shania. We got all that. It's killing them. They like, do the blacks have to come everywhere? That's really why they mad. They like, can we have a white safe space, please? And the answer, Nola, is no. 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 Because they know wherever black folks show up, the seasoning will be with us.
I mean, well, first of all, trying to have sports just all to yourself, I feel like the initial plan is flawed. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. But have all the spaces that you want, because I know I am happy in my black spaces when I need to, just kind of just do me. So have all the white spaces you want to have. That actually does not bother me. But when we are talking about public events, public goods, sports is a really good public good. It makes people feel good. It's camaraderie. It's business in the community. There are a lot of, net positives. You can't own that. You can't just exclude others because you think you own sports.
Look, we'll let y'all have poker.
Have what? Poker?
Polka, Polka. Polka.
As in dots.
Polka music.
Polka music. And in fact, do y'all realize that?
Have it all day long.
No. Do y'all realize that polka music is the only genre I do not have on my.
Why are you saying genre like a cuss word?
Because that's what it is.
Genre.
No, but by nature, I'm gonna hip y'all to something, and hopefully Nola don't know the hell that I'm talking about, but she really bougie. So if y'all really want to understand how we do this thing different, okay, so I want y'all to show you something. So let me tell you how black people do this thing different. So this is literally polka music. Go on, turn it up.
Looking when you hear Jolly Joe's on his way, hooray for Jolly Joe. He's welcome everywhere, rain or snow, he sings and doesn't care.
Hey, so, okay, y'all, that's polka music. So, Zachary, what the hell? So, just so y'all know, so polka music, they got the accordion, and they got all of that. You see, they got the drums, and they got all of that. But, black people, we a little different, y'all. We are a wee bit different. Cause see,
are you about to play Zydeco?
No. See, when y'all need to understand. They sit here and they play their little music, and they got their little music, and they like, okay, cool. I'm doing this here. No, we a little different, y'all. We a little different. Cause see, when we take them same instruments and we do it like this. The late Buckwheat Zydeco right there. So we gonna take the same instruments so y'all can have polka. We gonna call that thing Zydeco. So we gonna take the same instruments, but like I told y'all, we gonna have some seasoning. I'm just saying. All right. So Grammys, y'all can change your little category. Y'all can have the little modern, traditional, boring ass, twangy, whatever. But you know what's gonna happen. It's a whole bunch of people coming behind Shabuzi and Beyonce. Y'all know Kane Brown gonna be coming for them country wars next year. And y'all know Raina gonna be coming for it. So and like I say, my man October London, his alter ego is Sam Nash. Man, y'all better ask somebody. That's gonna be happening as well. So I'm just loving all of these folk. I'm loving these white MAGA folk who like, man, can we get away from these people? Can we get away? No, y'all can't get away. So you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and do this here. October London's my homeboy. So we're gonna go to commercial break, y'all, with October London's alter ego, country singer Sam Nash. Y'all know he's going on tour. Take it to the break. I'll be right back.
Where the whiskey tastes the best and all the girls look good in jeans. I'm way down in Tennessee. That's my home away from home, built off love and family. I know love and I've met hate. I've been a sinner, I've been no saint. Been up and down, I've witnessed fate. I've had my troubles, have no complaints. Who I am is who I be. I'm only one man, as you can see. And if I strive to be only me, I'll make them proud in Tennessee. Go and get down, pour you some liquor.
Side of change.
We are talking about our star, our luminary, our guide, Assada Shakur, who recently passed away in Cuba. We're going to unpack her legacy.
I refuse to allow Assada's legacy to die before children that aren't even born. Like our babies that aren't even born must know her and must know her. And that roadmap is going to get us closer to liberation.
You're watching The Other Side of Change only on the Black Star Network.
I'm Russell L. Honoré, Lieutenant General, United States Army retired, and you're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
All right, folks, Aquila Sherrills, broker of the 1992 Gang LA Peace Treaty and his community-based public safety collective, have partnered with the Alliance for Safety and Justice to launch Scaling Safety, a $63 million community violence intervention initiative. It's the largest private investment in resident-led public safety in U.S. history. The program will pilot in Austin, Cleveland, Jackson, Mississippi, Miami, and Tucson, building on proven strategies that have reduced shootings by as much as 70% in places like Oakland and Newark. He joins us right now. I'm glad to have you on the show. So how did this all come together?
Well, you know, I've been working with Lenora Anderson and the Alliance for Safety and Justice for over a decade. And, you know, lifting up the work that we had been doing in Newark, New Jersey for the past 8 years. In 2014, you know, I got a call from Mayor Baraka. He's been a good friend of mine for about 20 years. And he asked me to help him to build out his community-based public safety initiative. And, you know, Newark was on the top 10 most violent city list for almost 50 consecutive years, family. And, you know, through Mayor Baraka's genius and my support, you know, we put together the Newark Community Street Team. First 2 years, we had double-digit reductions in homicides. In 2014, when we started, it was 103 homicides in the city. Last year, we had 37. As a result of this work, I was tapped, you know, by the White House to run the White House Community Violence Intervention Collaborative. 16 cities, 52 community-based organizations that do community violence intervention as a public health approach to reducing violence and crime. And it was phenomenal. You know, we was able to pass the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, you know, through the Biden administration. The Biden administration turbocharged the work, put $250 million in this work. We were able to fund agencies all across the country, contributing to a 30% decline across the country. And so Lenore and I partnered and we applied for this fund called Audacious. It's the largest social impact fund in the world. We were one or 10 of 14,000 applications. It was brutal, family, going through the 18-month process. But we raised $63 million to invest in these, you know, 5 key communities across the country, with Newark being our North Star. with the goal of continuing to build infrastructure for our community-based partners, reducing violence by 50%, tripling organizations, fiscal and organizational capacity, doubling access to resources. This is our North Star, and making that investment permanent in cities. There's very few cities across the country, with the exception of Newark and Los Angeles, that has a line item budget for community-based public safety, right? We got law enforcement, policing, fire department, EMS. There should be a line item, permanent line item for community-based public safety that doesn't change when elected officials change. And so this is the work that we're now doing in these cities to make sure that our folks are safe. Black folks have never felt safe in this country, and this initiative essentially puts the power in the hands of the people. You can't have public safety without the public. And so this is, our initiative to make sure that our neighborhoods are safe, and that we reduce violence and we sustain that reduction through our collective work.
So you telling me that this stuff can happen without the National Guard?
Absolutely. We've been reducing violence for 30 years. It's evidence-based, it's anecdotal, it's community-supported. The thing is that they just rarely ever recognize it because it's us that's leading the work, as you know. And so the National Guard, just like law enforcement, they're an important part of the ecosystem, but law enforcement enforce laws. They're not a peacekeeping force in our respective communities. And safety is not just the absence of violence and crime. It's also the presence of well-being and the infrastructure to support victims and survivors in their respective healing journey.
Questions from my panel. Zachary, you first.
So, it's really great to see this, and it's a great way of kind of ending the night, some really good news. I want to know, when you look at how can we possibly scale this up to more cities, what would be the first thing that someone would want to do to get this out in more places, or to imitate or kind of recreate this?
In terms of, scaling, and this is the work that we're doing with scaling safety. It's about creating a replicable model, right? Investing in community-based infrastructure. So one of the first things that we have to do is we have to assess the impact of the organizations. We have to provide technical assistance support to make sure that these agencies have the proper funding, the back office infrastructure, in terms of being able to manage dollars. One of the things that we learned when we did the White House initiative was that 3/4 of our organizations couldn't even accept dollars, family. They couldn't absorb the investment. And then also in terms of data and research, right? So many of our organizations, these individuals are doing phenomenal work on the ground in the cities, but because they don't have data infrastructure and evaluation infrastructure, law enforcement consistently takes credit for their work. And so we're putting all of those pieces in place with organizations so that they can sustain their work. And then we have agencies like the Newark Community Street Team in Newark, New Jersey, that we can do peer exchanges. We take folks to see what a well-functioning ecosystem looks like, right? High-risk intervention is doing intervention in mediating conflicts, safe passage around our schools, trauma recovery centers, hospital-based violence intervention, outreach work and case management. All of these systems need to work in coordination in order to reduce and sustain violence. And again, law enforcement has a role, but community is first.
Reese.
Thank you for the work that you do. What just struck me about that is the breadth and range of ways that you all implement violence interruption and public safety measures that don't involve the police, even though obviously they have some role. We see that people just want a one-size-fits-all and a quick fix. Can you talk a little bit about kind of the time frame that you saw changes? Because I know people are impatient when they see this person was carjacked or this person's home was broken in. Can you give people a sense of how long does it take to start to see tangible change from these different approaches?
Yes. So one of the things that we did, and I'll utilize Newark as an example, violence is not across the whole city. In the city of Newark, violence was concentrated in only about 20% of the city, in the South Ward and the West Ward. Sometimes when you tamp down the violence in the South, you know, people move over into the West and vice versa. It goes back and forth. And so one of the things that you have to do is you have to put, you have to hire the residents from the neighborhood, right? You hire the local credible messengers, the ex-gang members, the ex-convicts, the ex-drug dealers, those who have real credibility in the neighborhood that used to be a part of the Get Down, who changed their life and they have atoned, and then, you train them. We don't put anybody out in the field who hasn't been trained. We have an organization that we work with, the Professional Community Intervention Training Institute. We train folks in conflict resolution, mediation, and de-escalation strategies. Then we deploy them in key parts of their neighborhood and ask them to utilize your relationship capital to intervene and mediate conflicts to peaceful resolve. Now, this work is difficult. You know what I'm saying? Because you're working with folks who come to this work with a tremendous amount of trauma. So you have to develop new workforce development models, that meet people where they are, and so there are systems that have to be put in place. And so we're essentially building an institution, right, where in many cases none exists. The thing that underscores all of the violence in the neighborhood is trauma and poverty. So if you incentivize peace, if you pay individuals, right, to come to the table, to be trained and to utilize your relationship capital, and then you provide trauma recovery services to address some of those angst that sometimes prevents us from getting out of our own way to access our destiny force and our life purpose. You create a pathway that is, it's just life changing. The people in the South Ward in Newark, they own safety in their neighborhood. They own it. I was fortunate enough to be called in, by my brother, Mayor Baraka. This is what his charge was to me. He was like, I don't want you to bring the LA model. I don't want you to bring the Chicago model. He was like, I want you to build the Newark model. Every community is different and has its own nuances in culture. And so we were able to tap into that. And today, this organization that I started, 9 years ago with a modest investment from local philanthropy and the support of the mayor, today it's a multi-million-dollar agency, over 80 staff, and this November is going to have one of the first mixed method evaluation reports led by a Black organization that shows that they reduce violence and crime without law enforcement. Phenomenal. And so now we can take this research and then take it to different cities across the country and share best practices.
This work sounds amazing, and I will be so excited to see the data once you get it. So my question is, in this current political climate, what does it look like on the ground? And specifically what I mean is, I know that in the national security community, when it comes to, say, something like counterterrorism, that this administration has yanked a lot of prevention programs. And I know that they favor more of a Gestapo-style kind of militarized police presence in many cities. And so I'm just curious, all of this amazing work that's being done on the ground that is essentially challenging law enforcement, how are you all thinking through and strategizing for the inevitability of the Trump administration knocking on your door one day and, one way or the other, because next on their list of terrible things to do is to gut nonprofits, to gut, entities like yours that are actually doing something positive in the community that kind of can challenge the going narrative. So how is it on the ground, and how are you all thinking about counteracting the eventuality of the Trump administration?
Well, first, I just want to say that that we've already been attacked, right? The Community-Based Public Safety Collective, we were the lead technical assistance provider for the federal government, for Department of Justice on community violence intervention prevention initiative. So April 22nd, 365 organizations across the country, over $800 million taken away. I had to lay off 20 staff. We were providing technical assistance to over 90 organizations across the country, cities, states, law enforcement, counties, and community-based organizations. Some who had never implemented a community violence intervention strategy before, right? And so we're dealing with it now, right? It's important that you have a diversified funding base, that all of your dollars are not governmental dollars. They're not all philanthropic dollars. You have to have an individual donor campaign. You have to have like a diversified funding base in order to remain sustainable. Now, we're not looking to law enforcement for solutions to safety in our community, family. They're an important part. They utilize a lot of our tax dollars. My belief is that government doesn't have any money. Government, we hire elected officials to be the custodians of our tax dollars. And so we have to also educate people how to build power on the ground, so that we could learn how to move public dollars into public hands, right? And so one of the things that we've done with scaling safety, this partnership between the Alliance for Safety and Justice and the Community-Based Public Safety Collective, we raised an unprecedented amount of money, $63 million. Now, it's not, in the larger scheme of things, it's not a whole lot of money. However, it's going to allow us to invest in these 5 cities, a little more than, 3/4 of those dollars will be re-granted to those agencies. So, and it's about kind of preserving the wins, that we've already created as a part of, the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, and some of the work that we've done through Civic. So, and then many of our philanthropies across the country has been stepping up. As I said, 365 organizations got cut. Lenore and I went to work immediately to raise capital so that we could get money to organizations during the summer, because we know that during the summertime, violence usually spikes in these neighborhoods, right? And so we raised about $850,000 from our philanthropic partners, and we re-granted, just about, 98% of those dollars in tranches of 50, 75, and 100 grand. So that we can support our partners on the ground, maintain staff, provide safe passage in the neighborhood, by putting money in the pockets of those key individuals to do that particular work. This is how we're looking at sustaining the work. So, for those folks out there who got deep pockets, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, we have a local capacity building fund. We don't just move dollars to organizations arbitrarily and say, hey, do what you can do. We assess the agency. So there's a system of accountability. We develop a comprehensive training and technical assistance plan in which we tier the organizations in terms of readiness. We help to lay out activities, short range, mid range, long range goals, and we stay with these agencies, over a period of time. And so, we're really fortunate. As I said, we've been in this work for 30 plus years. Our reputation is stellar. And so, we're continuing to raise philanthropic dollars. We're working with cities and states and counties because, the feds right now are, doing all types of funny stuff with our bread. But that's temporary. The pendulum swings to the right, and then, it comes right back and swings to the left. And so when they get finished doing all of the crazy stuff, we're going to be right there to put our whole hand and wrist in the pockets, of government to make sure that we get our money.
All right, Akila, if folks want more information, where do they go?
They go to scalingsafety.com, and, you can learn about the initiative. You can also go to each one of our respective websites, the Alliance for Safety and Justice.com or our CVPScollective.org and learn more about our collective work.
All right, then. Well, I appreciate it, sir. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
All right, then. Let me thank Nola, Reese, Zachary had the balance. I appreciate y'all being on today's show. Thank you so very much. I'm going to close the show out, y'all. So, sometimes when you sit here dealing with your little nieces and nephews, they always got stuff to say. So I was riding in the car with my niece, Raquel, and the subject of speeches came up, and she actually thought she was going to start negotiating with me, like about a referral fee. I just want to give y'all a taste of some of this crazy stuff I got to deal with when it comes to these little chillin'. Okay, y'all listen to this conversation. Let me tell y'all what this little turd told me. So I told her point blank.
I'm a turd.
I said, if somebody
folk be trying to get me to do for free. I say, you need to let them know what my fee is.
No.
She gonna sit here and say she get a cut. She gonna say she get a cut.
He's not even.
She talking about I'm the middleman. So I need to get a finder's fee. If anything results from that.
He's not even telling y'all the whole story. I said, if somebody, I don't tell people he's my uncle because they're gonna ask me to do stuff. And he said, if somebody asks me to find him, I'm supposed to charge them $15,000.
No, what I'm saying is, people want me to speak for free because they know people I know, and I'm like, no, tell them it's $15,000.
Okay.
And then Miss Thing was like,
so you can pay me a band out of the 15. You'll still have 14,000.
Hold up, you want 1,000?
Hey, John Hamm.
Hold on, y'all. First of all, I didn't realize we had commercials in this thing. All right, hold on, y'all. It's about to get real crazy. Y'all, I can't find out what the original file is. I'm playing the YouTube feed. All right, watch this.
You out your mind.
If I set him up to get some money.
You out your mind.
Why would he not pay me?
First of all, 10% is $1,500. 5% is $750.
Thank you.
I don't even think you should get 2%.
Well, you don't get paid for that.
I think I give you $25.
Don't play with me.
What?
What am I gonna do with $25? You can't you can't even live off of $25.
It's not living off of $25. It's just, you can afford gas.
You expect me to die.
There's some food you can buy.
You expect me to die.
There's snacks that you can get. I think, okay, $50.
No. I will not be lowballed.
What? It's not lowball.
Yes, you are.
It's not lowball.
Yes, you are.
No, it's not.
You wouldn't even accept $50 if you help somebody get some money.
That's not true. That's not true.
Okay, so what would you accept?
What I would accept if I was in your case.
No.
If I was you.
No. What would you accept?
What would I accept?
What would you accept?
Now remember, there's some.
You're beating around the bush.
No, I'm not. Let me explain something to you. See, like there's some lawyers that are $35 an hour lawyers. Then there's some lawyers that are like $2,000 an hour lawyer. I'm a $2,000 an hour lawyer.
And I said my price.
You are $25 an hour lawyer.
Not.
Yes, you are.
Don't play with me.
Yes,
we both 2,000.
No, how we both 2,000?
Because we are.
No, we not.
Prices. I work for myself, just like you work.
Yeah, but you hold up.
$2,000 lawyer.
Are you crazy?
And I'm worth the 2 bands.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. You're right.
Don't have.
I'm worth more than
you don't have this. You don't even have the same experience.
I don't need the experience.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
If you have the what?
I have the charisma. I have the looks.
Baby, hold up. Charisma and looks. That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing.
I'm the whole entire package.
Hold up. How you the package?
What you mean? You see this big?
You not the package.
You see the material.
You not the package.
Okay.
You not the package.
Okay.
How you think you gonna? How you think? Literally.
I'm the package and the deliverer.
You high right now.
I'm not. Completely sober.
I think you've been sitting with a room full of glue.
Completely sober.
Y'all, she lost her mind. If she actually thinks that she's worthy,
no. Y'all know I'm the
if there's a $15,000 spend.
Man, I'm not about to argue with a man about my work. Y'all see what it is. Thank you.
Y'all, she lost her mind. She lost her mind. She's absolutely crazy. Cray. She's cray.
Your brain cells are rubbing off on me.
What? No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No.
It's the same person that just told me I'm not worth $25 or 2 bands.
No, I didn't say no. You said $25. I didn't.
Opposed to 2 bands.
I didn't say you were $25.
As opposed to 2 bands.
You were saying that
you're crazy.
You were saying that your finder's fee.
You're crazy.
You're saying that your finder's fee should be $1,000.
2 bands.
And I'm saying you're 2.
I upped it. Yeah.
Oh no, you please. That ain't happening at all.
Thank you.
That ain't happening at all.
25 ain't happening. 35
Now let me explain something to you. Now if you think you're gonna get 1 or 2 that means you got to do all the work. That means that you got to book the airfare, you got to book the car, you got to sit here and handle all logistics.
What did you think?
You got to
that? You,
no.
You think I like to talk for fun?
No.
No.
And what I'm saying is, I already got somebody who do that.
Okay, no, you didn't say that though.
I do. First of all,
your first time saying
no, that's established. I have somebody who handles that.
No, but you didn't say that though.
I have somebody who handles that.
Oh, okay.
So I don't need you to be handling logistics.
But you see how you keep saying you needed me?
Said I don't.
You see how you keep saying you needed me?
No, I didn't need you. That's the whole
You
point.
inserted yourself in my
I didn't need
in
you.
my bag because I told you.
No, I
find
didn't.
you something.
I did. No, you didn't say you will find me something. No, you said if somebody asked. Yeah, you didn't. See?
I did.
Look at you. There you go.
Don't do too much. I just have to check you because you never said.
No, you doing too much.
So you calm down.
No, you doing too much.
Okay.
You calm yourself down.
I'm calm.
You ain't calm. And since you all that, why am I picking you up?
Because you're supposed to.
See that, y'all? See, that's that bullshit right there. See, that's that bullshit right there. See, that's why she laughing, because she know she busted.
I'm not supposed to drive.
Exactly.
I'm a passenger princess.
You not supposed to drive.
I'm a passenger princess.
Hold up, I thought you was a total package. I thought you had it all together.
The total package.
I thought you had it all.
that has it all together don't have to do anything. Men like you are doing that.
You lost your damn mind.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. You done lost your damn mind.
No, I haven't. I'm right in there. I'm a passenger princess.
Oh, she's sick in the head. She's sick in the head.
Okay.
That child need to be committed. Because she cray-cray. That one right there. That right there.
I get it from my
No,
Roland.
you do not get it from me.
I get it from my Uncle
No,
Roland.
you do not.
They say I act the most like him. So
No.
if I'm
First of all,
crazy,
who's
Uncle
they?
Roland's crazy. Everybody they know
No.
you and then when
No.
you say the same thing. So
No.
we're both insane.
Absolutely. No, first of all, I'm not insane.
Yes, you are.
I am absolutely sane. SANE.
You
I'm
saying
100%.
that statement just proves my point of you being
I'm
insane.
100% insane.
If you think that, I don't know what
You're
insane
insane.
is. No.
You're insane.
No, you're the
I'm
definition
sane.
of insanity.
I'm a $2,000 an hour lawyer. You're 25.
I'm 3,000.
You ain't 3,000?
2,000. I'm 3,000.
Girl, please.
I'm up with all your scores.
God, that child needs Jesus.
I have Jesus. This is why I'm 3,000 now.
I deal with. Do y'all see the nonsense I got to deal with on a regular basis? Hold on. Hear the end of our conversation.
The power of the Lord is with me.
Okay, I'm done because she done lost her mind. Lost her mind. That's gonna be the name of her podcast. I done lost my mind.
You gonna help me find it?
Absolutely not.
Because you don't have a mind to help me find it.
Oh no, darling, I have a mind.
I'm telling y'all.
First of all, there ain't nothing but brilliance here.
Oh God, I don't even know why I got you started.
Ain't nothing but sheer brilliance here.
Oh God.
Let's just be real clear. Everybody know that. Everybody know that.
Okay, well when you get,
I mean, this like genius level.
Oh.
You know, I mean, I don't know what's happening over there. I don't know.
You see me.
Yes,
Thank you.
I see you riding.
If I call you my chauffeur, you're gonna be mad.
Yeah.
If I call you my chauffeur, you're gonna be mad.
Nah, you don't sit front seat calling somebody no damn chauffeur.
Yes, I am. Personal chauffeur. Can y'all afford that? No, I don't think so. Thank you.
I'm done with this little shit. Her sister Lil Turd 1A. She Lil Turd 1B since they twins. All right, y'all. I gotta go. I gotta sit here
and focus on the road.
Be somebody's damn Uber.
And focus on the road.
Yeah, whatever.
Because my driver will be getting 1 stars for this.
And matter of fact, for this distance driving way the hell over here, past where I grew up, this is at least a $70 Uber. So now you owe me money.
Okay.
Now you owe me money.
How would you like your payment?
Easy. I want cash. Boy, and amazing how it's like we lost our tongue, huh? As for that money, they stopped talking.
I don't carry cash, I'm a woman.
Okay, I told we done. Bye, whatever.
Do y'all see the bullshit I got to deal with? Do y'all now understand the nonsense I have to deal with on a regular basis. These badass kids. Man. All right, y'all. That's it for us. If y'all want to support the work that we do, some of y'all, wait a minute. I see y'all in the comments. Y'all are cracking me up. Let's see here. Somebody said, yeah, Passenger Princess. Passenger Princess. Yeah, she actually called herself Passenger Princess. I'm telling y'all, the girl, she lost her mind. Then somebody said her price keep going up. Right! Her price keep going up. I'm like, you ain't done nothing. All right, y'all. Support the work that we do here, right here on Roland Martin Unfiltered, the Black Star Network. If you want to join our Breeding the Funk fan club, our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing on average $50 each a year. That's $4.19 a month, 13 cents a day. Y'all can do so if you want to use cash. You want to use Cash App, you just strike the QR code. You see it right here, bottom left-hand corner. That's for Cash App. PayPal's R Martin Unfiltered, Venmo's RM Unfiltered, Zelle, Roland at RolandSMartin.com, Roland at RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Check some money order, make it payable to Roland Martin Unfiltered. P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 2003-7-0196. Y'all YouTube people, hurry the hell up. Hit the doggone like button. We could easily be at 2,000 likes. Just need 600. Y'all hurry, hit the damn button. Y'all over here chatting, hit the doggone button. Again, check some money orders, make it payable to Roland Martin Unfiltered, P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 2003-7-0196. Hey, download the Black Star Network app, Apple phone, Android phone, Apple TV, Android TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Xbox One, Samsung Smart TV. Be sure to get a copy of my book, White Fear. At the Browning of America, making white folks lose their minds. Available at bookstores nationwide. You want us to get our Black Star Network gear, please do so by going to shopblackstarnetwork.com. That's right, you can go ahead and get you a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, like the one I have right here. You see me rocking this sweatshirt. That's right, the crew neck right here. Don't blame me, I voted for the black woman. Y'all can get this as a t-shirt or as a sweatshirt. It don't matter. Just go to shopblackstarnetwork.com. No, we don't have the cowboy hats on there. You're gonna go get you a Stetson. So if you want to support our black-owned products, you see all these to my left. I mean, we got black. Let's see here. We got black tissue. Y'all can y'all? Black tissue, we got black toilet paper. We got this is the Nicole R. Parker hats and headbands. We got relishes down here, sauces. We got skincare products. We got car wash items. We got all kinds of crossword puzzles. I mean, we got backpacks, all kind of stuff. These are all black-owned companies. Go to shopblackstarnetwork.com. Shopblackstarnetwork.com. Now, if you want to, that's right. Again, Shop Black Star Network. Come on, scroll. Come on, scroll. Stop showing the graphic. Scroll. Thank you. Show the products. ShopBlackStarNetwork.com. That's the products right there. Don't forget, you want to listen to our audio podcast, iHeartRadio Network. We work with them. You can check, of course, we're on all the platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, all that good stuff. Support Fanbase. That's right. Download the app. Fanbase, if you also want to be an investor, they've raised $13.2 million. Go to startengine.com/Fanbase. Upcoming, they're gonna have a Fanbase marathon. We'll be streaming it right here. And of course, I told you about the tribe. We had the co-founders on today's show. They are a Chicago-based website. It's right here. You can join their newsletter. You can also make a contribution to them as well. So when you click that button right here, you see right here, boom, where you can help build the tribe fund. You can be a monthly donor or annual donor to the newsletter, or you just want to make a contribution, you can do it right here with credit cards as well, or Apple Pay. So please support local black-owned media, support, of course, national black-owned media. All of that absolutely matters. All right, y'all. Man, I got to go. I'll see y'all tomorrow, right here, Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. Hi!